Hi friends, my name is Nikhilasha and you're watching Navchetna. In this video, we will learn the uses of the simple past tense in detail. Let us begin without wasting any time. The simple past tense, sometimes called the preterite, is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. The simple past is the basic form of past tense in English. The time of action can be in the recent past or the distant past, and action duration is not important. For example, I went to Mumbai last year. I lived in Delhi in 2010. I spoke to him yesterday. With most verbs, the past tense is formed by adding ed. For example, called, liked, wanted, etc. But there are a lot of irregular past tense forms in English. I will provide the list of the most common irregular verbs in English with their past tense forms at the end of this video. Let's learn the different forms of simple past tense. Affirmative. Subject plus past form of verb V2 plus object. Example, I bought this house last year. I drove to Mumbai in my car. Negative, subject plus did not plus present form of the verb plus object. For example, I didn't buy this house last year. I didn't drive to Mumbai in my car. Interrogative, did plus subject plus present form of verb plus object. For example, did I buy this house last year? Did I drive to Mumbai in my car? As we know that we use did to make questions with the past simple. For example, when did you meet your wife? Where did you go for your holidays? But questions with who often don't use did. For example, who discovered penicillin? Who wrote 1984? You can see in these two sentences we've not used did. We are done with the different forms of the simple past tense. Let's learn the uses of the simple past tense now. We use the simple past tense to talk about something that happened once in the past. For example, I met my wife in 2012. We went to Shimla for our holidays. They got home very late last night. We use the simple past tense to talk about something that happened several times in the past. Let's see some examples. When I was a boy, I walked a mile to school every day. We swam a lot while we were on holiday. They always enjoyed visiting their friends. We also use used to describe something that happened several times in the past. For example, most evenings we used to stay at home and watch DVDs. We used to go for a swim every morning. Would is also used to describe something that happened several times in the past. Let's see some examples. Most evenings he would take the dog for a walk. They would often visit friends in Europe. We do not normally use would with stative verbs. Stative verbs describe state rather than action, like feel, look, agree, believe, doubt, guess, imagine, know, mean, recognize, remember, suspect, think, understand, etc. We use the past simple or used to instead. Let's see some examples. He looked much older than he does now. We don't use would look. We used to feel very cold in winter. We do not use would feel. We use the past tense to talk about something that was true for some time in the past. Let's see some examples. I lived abroad for 10 years. He enjoyed being a student. She played a lot of tennis when she was younger. We often use expressions with ago with the simple past tense. For example, I met my wife a long time ago. I passed my board examination a long time ago. Some conditional clauses are like hypothesis, so we use past tense forms. Hypothesis is something that does not happen or is not happening in the present. For example, he could get a new job if he really tried. Here it means he cannot get a job because he has not tried. If Jack was playing, they would probably win. In this sentence, we mean to say Jack is not playing, so they will probably not win. Let's see another sentence. If I had this address, I could write to him. This sentence means I do not have his address, so I cannot write to him. We use the simple past tense to talk about something that we believe or know will not happen in the future or something that is not likely to be true. For example, we would go by train if it wasn't so expensive. This sentence means we will not go by train because it is too expensive. Let's see another example. I would look after the children for you at the weekend if I was at home. It means I cannot look after the children because I will not be at home. We use the simple past tense to make suggestions about what might happen in the future. For example, if he came tomorrow, we could borrow his car. If we invited John, Mary would bring Angela. In hypothetical sentences, after I, he, she, it, we can use were instead of was. Let's see some examples and it will be clear to you. If Jack was or were playing, they would probably win. We would go by train if it wasn't or weren't so expensive. I would look after the children for you at the weekend if I was or were at home. So after looking at these examples, it is clear to you now that you can use was or were, both, with I, he, she, it. We use the past tense models would and could to talk about wishes for the future. For example, I don't like my work. I wish I could get a better job. That's a dreadful noise. I wish it would stop. I always have to get home early. If only my parents would let me stay out later. We use the simple past tense to talk about wishes for the present. Let's see some examples. I don't like this place. I wish I lived somewhere more interesting. I wish I was taller. John wishes he wasn't so busy. I am freezing. If only it wasn't so cold. We use modals would and could for a hypothesis about the present or future. For example, we can't all stay in a hotel. It would be very expensive. Drive carefully or you could have an accident. We use would in the main clause and the simple past tense in a subordinate clause for a hypothesis about the present or future. For example, I would always help someone who really needed help. I would always help someone if they really needed it. You can see we used would in the main clause and the simple past in the subordinate clause. To practice the simple past tense, you can talk about anything that you did yesterday, like I woke up early in the morning, I brushed my teeth, I completed my daily chores, and so on. Like we talk about our daily routine using the simple present tense. You can talk about what you did yesterday using the simple past tense. We are almost done with the uses of the simple past tense. Here is the list of irregular verbs that I promised at the beginning of this video. I am sure this video helped you to learn a few useful rules. Thanks for watching. Have a look at the irregular verbs list.